This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to enthusiasts of the global automotive industry. Things move really fast in this industry. Yesterday was all about President Trump backing off threats to slap tariffs on Canada and Mexico. Today, the big news is that Nissan is backing out of its plans to merge with Honda. It was just a little over a month ago that Honda and Nissan surprised the industry with plans to join forces, which would have made them the third largest automaker in the world. But neither company seemed to have its heart in the project, and we thought it looked like the Japanese government was quietly orchestrating the merger behind the scenes. Honda's CEO, Toshihiro Mibe, couldn't even come up with a good reason why the two should merge when asked by reporters. At first, the two automakers were going to operate independently as part of a holding company. But then Honda decided it wanted to run the show and make Nissan a subsidiary. And that's when Nissan decided to back out of the deal. Honda's shares jumped more than 8% on the news, while Nissan's fell nearly 5%. Renault, which owns 36% of Nissan, saw its stock fall 3.4%. But now the question is, what will happen with Nissan? It's in a downward spiral, and there are hungry investors like Foxconn that want to take an ownership position in the company. One thing's for sure, this story is far from over. And let's stick with Japan for a moment, where Toyota posted its latest financial earnings. The company sold almost 8.3 million vehicles over the last 3 quarters, down 3%. Its revenue hit $233 billion, up almost 5%. Its operating profit fell over 13% to $24 billion, while its net profit rose 4% to $26 billion. But by the time the current quarter is over, Toyota expects its net profits to fall 11.3% for this fiscal year. Toyota also announced it's going to establish a new EV assembly and battery plant in Shanghai for Lexus. It will feature a new BEV platform, and the plant will be tooled to make 100,000 cars a year with 1,000 employees in 2027. We think it's possible that this new platform and the plant will come out of Toyota's Skunk Works project called the BEV Factory. We know that Toyota has been working on its own version of Unboxed assembly, and that would be one way for it to quickly catch up or to even possibly leapfrog the best Chinese EV companies. And as long as we're talking about Toyota and batteries, we need to note that the giant automaker is ready to start producing batteries outside of Japan for the first time. Its $14 billion battery factory in North Carolina will start shipping batteries in April for hybrid, plug-in hybrid, and pure electrics. By 2030, Toyota is aiming for the plant to produce 30 gigawatt hours of batteries a year. Things seem to be going from bad to worse for the German auto industry, and morale is really down. A recent survey asked companies to gauge the business climate in Germany, and it found that sentiment in the auto industry has reached a new low. Companies are concerned about the industry's ability to compete with strong competitors from China, falling sales in Europe, and Trump's tariff threats on car imports. You know, if you're going to own a Bentley, you might as well look like you live in the lap of luxury. Bentley is opening its own luxury residences in Miami, and with a starting price of $5.8 million, they have some pretty nice amenities. That includes a private elevator for your car. No need to park and walk to the elevator. You just ride up with your car. Owners will also have a private heated swimming pool on each balcony, a beauty salon, and even their furry friends get their own 114 square foot pet spa. But there's room for it when each unit is 20,000 square feet and has 3 floors with views of the beach.
There's nothing wrong with heavy metal.
Hey, lighten up.
But with world-class composite material, Teijin Automotive Technologies makes vehicles lighter, safer, and more eco-friendly.
DS Automobiles, which is part of Stellantis, revealed pricing for its all-new BEV, the number 8, which launches in the second half of this year. The base front-wheel drive version with 230 horsepower and a 74 kilowatt-hour battery pack that provides 550 kilometers or about 340 miles of range starts at just under 60,000 euro. There's also a 245 horsepower front-wheel drive model that can be paired with a 97 kilowatt-hour battery, which provides up to 750 kilometers or roughly 465 miles of range. Or that pack can be combined with an all-wheel drive version that makes 350 horsepower. The top-line trim of the number 8 starts at just over 74,500 euros. DS says the number 8 is the first of its designs to be solely electric, so we will be interested to see if sales and market conditions allow it to stay on that path. And speaking of DS, the automaker is celebrating the 70th anniversary of the original DS model in a unique way. It partnered with the French Mint to create a one-off silver 10 euro coin that depicts a 1955 DS19 mirrored with a 1975 DS23. Only 5,000 coins will be made, which cost 15 euros each, and the coins go on sale today on the French Mint website. On top of this one, DS and the French Mint plan to introduce more special coins throughout the year. At the end of last year, General Motors pulled the plug on developing robotaxis and folded its autonomous unit Cruise back into its existing engineering operations. And now it's cutting the Cruise workforce in half, or by about 1,000 people. It's not just engineers. Many high-level executives are headed for the door, including CEO Mark Whitten. GM said it decided to stop funding Cruise because of increased competition, as well as the cost and time it would take to scale it. Now it will focus on developing its Super Cruise hands-free driving system. GM says it will save $500 million this year by absorbing Cruise's operations and twice as much in the coming years. Earlier this week, we reported that based on early data, Tesla sales in Europe were dropping fast. Well, today we've got more numbers, and the situation may be even worse than we first suspected. On Monday, we told you that sales of Teslas were down 63% in France last month. Well, they were also down 44% in Norway, 38% in Sweden, and 42% in the Netherlands. In the UK, Tesla sales slipped 12%, even though overall BEV sales surged 35% to an all-time record. Tesla has slipped to only 7th in EV sales in the UK, behind companies like Volkswagen, Mercedes, BMW, and Peugeot. And it seems like there's a number of factors here. Several polls show that European EV buyers have had it with Elon Musk politics. Tesla is also transitioning to the new Model Y, and it typically has low inventory in the first quarter when it tries to boost end-of-year results. Kia is giving away free cars during the big game this Sunday, doing its own version of football squares. If you've never heard of squares, people pay to have their name put in the square of a large grid with the rows and columns representing the teams. Before the game, each square is assigned 2 numbers from 0 to 9. Those numbers correspond to the last digit of a team's score. So if both your numbers match the last digit of the team's point total at the end of the quarter, then you win. And since there's 4 quarters, there's 4 chances to win. But instead of handing out cash, Kia is giving away cars. It has a special website called kiasquares.com for people to sign up, which requires your name, email address, and zip code. But that brings us to the end of today's show. Thanks for tuning in.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Intrepid Control Systems, over-the-air engineering boost your game. And by Teijin Automotive Technologies, the formula for better mobility.
Developing today's vehicles. Issues can happen in an instant. When's the best time to solve a problem? The minute you know you have one. Meet Wireless NeoVi Cloud, your secure, off-the-shelf solution empowering real-time collaboration for quick resolution. With wireless Neovi Cloud, your team can prevent issues before they can escalate. Driver communication data and remote diagnostics to analyze and resolve your problems using OTA, allowing your executives oversight throughout the process. Wireless Neovi Cloud, your vehicle update solution in production and on the road. Intrepid Control Systems, driven by your data.
Knowing that a little rain won't slow down your day, that's what really matters. Bridgestone Turanza Quiet Track tires, confident control in wet conditions.